Just when I thought I couldn't love my instant death ability more than I already did, they pretty much go and make fun of light novel titles that are obnoxiously large, which is very funny because the show in question also has an obnoxiously large title, especially if you read the full Japanese one. And I love the idea that we all know that titles for anime, manga, light novels can get ridiculous, especially light novels, where it could be you take any string of words and throw them together and you have an isekai light novel title. Damn, I can't believe my ability's so powerful I accidentally knocked up my teacher and now I'm a vending machine. That literally could be a story. And I don't know if that's hilarious, sad, or a bit of both, but that's how the industry works. But the thing about it is that it's a proven method to sell your story. That like the longer your title, the more like detailed it is. That if you don't need to read the back of a book to know what it is, the title gives it away. It's a proven method of selling your story. It's like clickbait on YouTube or any numerous things that you don't really want to have to do, but it's what gets people to consume the thing you want them to consume. And the fact that a story that did a stupid title then in return makes a character in said story go, she's doing this Nut Blaster 10,000 maneuver of throwing a knife in the air and kicking a knight in the nads because that's her super move. And this stupid little ghost spirit who no one likes. I haven't seen a single person comment that this little floating person is like a great character. But I'll admit the fact that she goes off on this long tangent calling her super move like, I don't know, it's like 30 damn words was pretty funny. And I have to appreciate a show that can poke fun and that the author can realize that, you know what, these titles are stupid, it's ridiculous, but let's have a little fun with it. Have a full live reaction to episode 8 of my instant death ability over on my Patreon if you want to see my full uncut thoughts. They're over there if you're interested. What a good episode. Like, I legitimately could see myself watching this every year for a season for the foreseeable future. That's how much I'm liking this show. I really find it charming, and it's nice because we get the full picture of the initial backstory that was hinted at since the start. Like, pretty much the first thing, if my memory serves me, that we saw of Child Yogiri was him walking towards a woman who had a gun to another woman's head, and then she died. That was like our first taste of the backstory, and now we have the full picture of what happened. And it's kind of funny, a little terrifying, but boy howdy, the money seems worth it. The fact that you pretty much held your babysitter up at gunpoint and said, please don't leave me again. Now, he said it a lot nicer, but that's more or less what happened. So she gets a fat payday. Like, she got some money. I feel like she had someone's salary for a single paycheck based on that envelope. And she goes on vacation because she's teaching him. She's basically doing motherly duties, and she clearly cares about the kid, but she obviously wants her vacation because the kid's frightening, man. And then she ends up getting kidnapped. At first I was like, oh, is it like the same people who was like working with her? Because it kind of felt like, oh, you know, maybe they don't want her to actually leave. And no, here's this organization who's like basically holding her hostage, and our boy just leaves. The fact that this is like, if you didn't realize he was overpowered up to this point in the show, which I don't see how you could think that, but this would be the moment that proves he don't gotta look at you. He literally just walks through, kills 75% of the staff and says, shh, please don't tell her that I did this, but I'll go get her back. And I'm like, how can you be so wholesome and murderous all in one, bro? But the fact that he so easily blows through that organization, that group, what is she to do other than like, yeah, let's go home, buddy. But it's weird because it legitimately feels like a mother-son bond, but she's also like, you know, if there is a way out of this, I probably would take it, but for the time being, we're gonna deal with it. I could follow a slice of life, just focus on Child Yogiri and his adoptive mother babysitter for 12 to 24 episodes. Legit. It's just such an interesting dynamic, and the idea of how, like, he technically could survive without her there. There's these robots, and the robots are actually a lot more honest than I thought. I thought they'd be programmed to be a lot more deceptive, because when he starts talking like, where did she go? You know, they're basically like, oh, she's on vacation. But once he starts asking more specific questions like, okay, who's in charge or who would know? She actually, the android brings to like the exit, which is interesting because I thought there'd be more fail safes or something, but you know what? Maybe the android just values its life more than other people. I don't know. But either way, that was one hell of a backstory, and then the way it leads into, because I love the fact that we get that sometimes when he's sleeping. I think the only times we've ever flashed back to his childhood is when he's asleep. And I think it's always been when he's in a vehicle, if I'm not mistaken. And then you lead into the second half of this episode, which is we're at the kingdom. We're at this king's kingdom, and the king don't mess around. I appreciate the fact that this is a show that just takes care of annoying characters. Whether it's that fat kid we sent to the forest in order to die and somehow he decided to live, or this douchebag who pops up and is like, I'm gonna talk to the king. It doesn't matter how nice, shitty a ruler is. Unless you are Yogiri, no one can have an attitude with royalty. You have to bite your tongue or you're just gonna cause yourself too much ruckus. And the king, I don't know if I'm gonna like this dude. I don't know if he's gonna be a douchebag and be infuriating, but I will admit, I love the fact that he cut that dude's fingers off, because he's all like, I'm gonna just talk with attitude. He's like, oh wow, I've never seen someone do that. Yeah, you think I'm gonna give a shit? Just cuts it off. And he's like, all right, back to business. And I'm like, either this is gonna be my boy's new BFF, or that king's gonna die at the beginning of next episode, because I don't think there's an in-between. And honestly, it's kind of funny to think about. You have a character who could kill the king. Obviously, all the knights would then rush him. We could kill an army of 100,000 over the course of one episode if the king had attitude with Yogiri and Yogiri considered him a threat or just too much of an annoyance. But right now, it seems like we're locked into the main quest, so we'll probably be okay. But I have to imagine his nonchalant attitude might piss off a king, but I don't know. Time will tell. But that move, I still can't comprehend if that's swordplay. She has like this little carving knife, and this dude wants to like see if like they actually are swordsmen because, oh, you know, are you actually trained by this person? She throws the knife, and it's the stupidest animation, but it's so funny. She rushes around and kicks him in the balls, and like the knights are like, yeah, that's a great super move. Is that how you get? It's like, that's swordplay? Who's training these knights that's swordplay? But that's my instant death ability for you. And then you add in the fact that we start the episode off with androids waking up. Some of the people on the school bus, apparently robots. And it's like, oh, hey, are you just going to fall over and die? Or are you going to go on to stage 2? And I'm like, what in the hell is going on with this world? There is so many little elements, and the fact that what started off as a simple joke of what would happen if One Punch Man was in an isekai has turned into such a fun isekai story with a lot of different twists and turns, and it seems like Yogiri's actually kind of locked in, as if he actually wants to like continue the main quest for a bit, so it's gonna be fun to see where they take it. But let me know what you thought, because between the memeing of the ridiculously long titles and moves that are named, to the backstory, to the present day, it's a good episode if you ask me. But let me know what you're feeling down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're around here, of course, ring that bell so you know if I would upload more. And like I mentioned, we had that full live reaction over on my Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we have Magical, Eric Barton, the James CR7, Jeff, Don, and Chemist. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.